Grace and peace, my beloved family of the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered among the Gentile pagan nations throughout the four corners of the planet, scattered among the schools and the congregations, the churches, the religions, okay, and these crazy people all around the world. Take heed and check this out. I'm using a English to Latin and Latin to English dictionary here. Okay, in the previous videos, I gave a breakdown of the definition of the word state. Now here, I'm going to break down a diocese and a parish and show you the difference between saying you're in a state or at or by a state. If you're in a state, that's different from being by a state. Now, if you're in a state, you can't be in a diocese. Well, you can be in a diocese, but if you're in a state, you're subject to the state. And you're also subject to the diocese. If you're in a diocese, you're not necessarily within a state. You can be in both because these are jurisdictions when you understand it. These are territorial jurisdictions. So I'm going to show you here. So brothers and sisters that's in the word and the knowledge, want some edification, watch your language. Okay, watch what comes out your mouth. You know, it says in Matthew 12, by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. And so if you dealing with the devil and you dealing with a man that is running around seeking to devour you, that is your accuser, okay, you got people in the profession of working for the devil, okay, accusing you before your power day and night to condemn your soul. You need to be careful, bro. Careful of what comes out your mouth. This is what a state is. Okay, this is what a state is, my beloved. Okay, you see how thorough details of this type of app is. I suggest and recommend the brothers and sisters download a English to Latin dictionary, Latin to English dictionary, the 2-in-1. But here, you see in English, there is a noun defined, number one, the territory. See, the state is the territory. Well, I brought this out in the last video. Territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation. Okay, number three, the group of people comprising the government of a sovereign state. Okay. Number four, a politically organized body of people under a single government. Okay. Number seven, over here, the territory occupied by a nation. Right? See, that's the main thing I'm looking for there. The territory occupied by a nation. You see? So when they say you're in the state, they saying you in the territory occupied by a nation. Okay. But they could also be talking about number four here. A politically organized body of people. Okay. Under a single government. A politically organized body of people under a single government. Okay. Now, so we clear. Okay, that's what a state is. But what's a diocese? Diocese, the territorial jurisdiction of a bishop. All right? You see? See? The territorial jurisdiction, also known as a bishopric. Bishopric. See or eparchy. All right? And a bishopric Did I spell it wrong? Bishopric ain't there? Bishopric there? Who bishopric at? Nah, in there. Yeah, I thought I spelled it right. Okay, so we have state, right? The territory, occupied, you see? Territory. All right? Territory. State could be considered territory. Number 7, the territory occupied by a nation, right? So if the state is a territory occupied by a nation, okay, and a diocese is a territorial jurisdiction of a bishop, okay? Let's see C. They ain't have bishopric, but let's look at C. The seat within a bishop's diocese where his cathedral is located, all right? The seat, all right? So the seat, the position of authority is a position of authority, right? Now, parish, a local church, community is a parish. You see? That's considered a parish. When they say you're in the community, well, which community? The secular community or the spiritual community? Okay. Number 2, the local subdivision of a diocese, you see, is a subdivision of a diocese. Just like a city, a county, those are subdivisions of a government, okay? Subdivisions of a state, right? You got parish, man. So are you in a synonym here, district, community, okay? Look, regio, you see? Now here, look, in the example at the bottom they give you, it says they worry over the fact that their parish now has 1 priest, though it formerly had 3. A parish church. Each diocese was then divided into parishes, with each parish, right, containing, and you see the advertisement is blocking it down there, right? So it's blocked by the ad, containing just 1 church, right? So yeah, parish. I should have kept the phone like this, anyway. But yeah, family, this is the difference between a diocese, a parish, and a church. See, so if you're dealing with if you're dealing with the government of the Most High in Christ, keeping the laws and the statutes and the commandments of the Most High in Christ, okay, you're in a diocese and a parish, all right? And the parish is a smaller area than a diocese, all right? But you're not in a state because there is a separation between church and state. Now, we look at the definition of the word in. When they say you're in a state, you're in a diocese, you're in a parish, in, okay, it could be descriptive of a person present at one's home or office, all right? But look at the adverb here. Number 2. Expressing the situation. of being enclosed or surrounded by something. All right? See? The preposition. First definition, expressing the situation of something that is or appears to be enclosed or surrounded by something else. Right? Number 5, expressing inclusion or involvement. You see? So could in be short for inclusion or involvement? When they say you're in the state, could they be saying you're included or involved in the state? Well, whatever it is they had to prove that. Huh? Could they prove that you're involved in the state? Is there any evidence to show that you're included or involved in the state? What if they find that on you? Yeah, let me see some ID. You whip it out. Boom, there you go. Your identification is a status of evidence of your inclusion and involvement with the state. Okay. So you're in the state if you carrying that stuff. Okay. Right. So listen, we have to be careful of our words, family. You in the state or you in a diocese? You in a county or you in a parish? All right. Because the states, the subdivisions of the states are counties. All right. They were called counties. But in Louisiana, you do your research in Louisiana, they don't use the word county. They use the word parish. So this is a territory of jurisdiction. All right. So which jurisdiction we dealing with, family? Are we dealing with Caesar's jurisdiction or are we dealing with the Lord's jurisdiction? Does authority come from Caesar or come from the Lord? What are we acknowledging here? Look at the definition. Let's look at by, the definition of by. Because people say, you could say you're in the state or you could say you're by the state. I would suggest that you say you're by the state of whatever, in the diocese, okay, in the Commonwealth of Israel diocese, right? You're in the diocese of the Commonwealth of Israel by, by New York. You in the parish of the Commonwealth of Israel by the Bronx or by New York or, by Queens. So by. Now look here. When we look at by, we got the English, the proposition here. Okay. And number 5 is what we want to look at. Number 5. Let's look at number 5. By indicates the location of a physical object beside a place or object. Beside a place. Okay? Indicating. See, I ain't too good at this highlighting thing here. Okay, location of a physical object beside a place. See? A place. So if a place is a territory, I recommend, we need to practice to try to condition ourselves because we've been conditioned to speak in a certain way, through this devilish, demonic, deceiving institution called the secular state. But like I explained before, you have to understand the hierarchy of authority and knowing where you are and, what powers and what authorities are you dealing with? You could say you're in the state, but even if you say you're in the state, that means if you're in the state, that means you're subject to the state. But you would also be subject to the diocese and the parish. You see? So if you're subject to the jurisdiction of the state, you're also subject to the jurisdiction of the diocese and the parish by that state. All right? But if you're in the diocese or the parish, right? If you're in a parish, then you're in a diocese, right? If you're in a diocese, you're in a parish. They both go together. It's just a diocese is a larger district and a territory than a parish. Okay, but these are the territorial jurisdictions of the church. Okay, and there's an order hierarchy of a bishop. You understand? So if Christ is the bishop of our souls and he's our bishop, and basically, hey, certain man, you see, it's not obligatory for any man to take upon himself the office of a bishop. If a man could show me that in the scriptures, I'd appreciate that. But as far as I know, I'm not aware of any obligation for a man to be holding the office of a bishop. Pastor, you understand, things like that, These are callings that men must voluntarily enter into, okay, by free will. These are positions of authority. And the administration of that authority is applied in certain territories among all nations on all continents, right? The separation of church and state is what creates the diocese and the parish, all right? The see or the bishopric, all right? So if we're in a diocese, then we're by the state. If we're in the state, we're already in a diocese and parish. Okay, you need to understand that. It's about jurisdiction. It's about authority, all right? So if the church is the highest authority on the planet, according to the scriptures, and witnessed and agreed to by many nations, if the Most High in Christ is the highest authority, okay, then that means that the states are within the territorial jurisdiction of the Most High in Christ, which means that the states are within the diocese and the parish's jurisdiction. This is why I explained in the other videos I put up recently about the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the church, extending into the claimed territories of the states, which are the Gentiles, the pagans, the secular nations, non-Israelite peoples. All right. So this is for your edification, my fellow brothers and sisters, understanding the difference between what a state is as a group of people and the territory they occupy. Those are two different definitions that coincide with one another, just like parish. All right. A parish is sort of just like a county, a community, but it's also has a second definition as meaning a community and the area occupied by that community, and the diocese being the larger area, usually analogous with the territorial jurisdiction of a state. Okay, that's what it is, because we sent to all the Gentiles, all right, and we are bringing the Gentiles into subjection to this word, so that's why it's analogous. A diocese is analogous with a state. All right. And a parish is analogous with a county. All right. Diocese, state, province. Okay. These are all territories. But the diocese is dealing with the the territorial jurisdiction where the Most High in Christ has rule, which we know is universal, and the territories of the states also are under and within the jurisdiction of the Most High in Christ. Okay, the body of the church, which is the house of God. Okay, the house of the Lord. Okay, so be blessed. Further increase your wisdom, knowledge, understanding with this information, my family. I appreciate your attention. Be blessed. Grace and peace onto the 12 tribes of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the world among these pagan Gentile nations. Kwam Yashala. Shalom wa Barakia.